and burn.
Hey everybody. So again, this video is just asking the question, was Claire sexually harassed? Mainly by Bender in The Breakfast Club? I'm asking because I watched the movie last night, and I also saw the clip this morning where Molly Ringwald discussed how her daughters saw the film, and they said that there were a number of problems with it because Claire was very obviously sexually harassed through the entire film. Molly Ringwald then went on in the interview to discuss how she told her daughters, well, yeah, that's how it was at this point. If the guy treated you like shit, that meant that, you know, you liked him more. And her daughters were saying how that was really bad and yada, 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 and how you got to see like the upskirt shot of her, even though technically it wouldn't have been Molly Ringwald because she was a minor at this point. But nevertheless, Bender looks right up her skirt when he's hiding under the table. But so was she sexually harassed in The Breakfast Club? I don't really feel much in the term, like using the term sexual harassment seems like it's taking things a little too far. I would not say that she was sexually harassed in here. Bender seeing her underwear and then either attempting to shove his face between her legs or his hand or whatever it was, yeah, that could be interpreted as being something really negative. But then at the same time, given how Claire dealt with it afterwards, how it was on one hand seen as kind of a joke by everybody else in The Breakfast Club, by the other people in detention, and how she hit him a bunch and she was absolutely disgusted by it, but then how she rebounded so quickly from it, I always took that to mean that Claire was perfectly capable of dealing with these sorts of things on her own, and that whenever somebody would treat her like that, it showed me that Claire wouldn't stand for it. She wasn't some shrinking violet type that would let a man do whatever he wanted to her. When he did that, she immediately called it out and was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And she started hitting him, and it was kind of funny. So to frame that as a type of sexual harassment, I don't see it myself. And throughout the course of the movie, I wouldn't say she was real. The only time I could get on board for some type of sexual harassment, or even like a low-key sex assault, is that there where Bender attempts to touch her once he sees her underwear. And it's just, Jesus Christ, that is so typically male too. A guy would so totally do that, especially in high school. So other than that, I don't know. I don't see this movie as being centered around any kind of real abusive behavior. It's just teenagers treating other teenagers like shit. Like I'm sure they still do right now. Here we are in July 2024. I doubt anything has changed. I know that Gen Z attempts to sort of frame it like they're the most virtuous generation ever, but I don't really buy that myself. I think they just like to call out things when they see problems there, and then sort of identifying the problem is enough of a justification for them to feel superior, because it's like they don't move on any of it. They just want to point it out, and then it's like I said, by pointing it out, it's like that makes them better or something. But I don't buy it. It just seems like people today, I shouldn't even just signal out to Gen Z, but it just seems like everybody, regardless of age, just likes to say, oh yeah, this is problematic, and I was the one to point it out to you because you didn't even see it, because you don't care about whatever is in the moment, whether it's women's rights, racial problems, whatever it is. I don't really believe anybody wants change. Much like I don't believe anybody really cares if Claire was or wasn't sexually harassed in The Breakfast Club. I think now people will just call it out in an attempt to sort of, again, seem superior, socially speaking. It's all about sort of satiating some narcissistic need for social dominance. I don't really believe for a second that it has anything to do with orchestrating any kind of real positive social change. I just don't buy that. And just as much as I don't buy that Claire was sexually harassed in the movie, other than that one very obvious scene where Bender did go too far. But then, like I said earlier, given how she handled it, it's been dealt with. You know what I mean? Claire didn't need somebody to come to her aid. Claire dealt with it on her own, which showed that she was strong and independent enough to tell Bender to go fuck himself. And then, if I'm not mistaken, I think they might have sex in that closet that Bender was kept in at the end. So Claire really didn't give a fuck. And if Claire didn't care then, I don't see why anybody cares now. But yeah, that's it. I'm getting out of here. So thank you for hanging out with me for way too long. This video is supposed to be short. So while I discussed of whether or not Molly Ringwald's character in The Breakfast Club, Claire, if she was sexually harassed or not, a little bit yes, but mostly no. You guys are amazing. Have a great night.